Okay, hello. I am streaming my books and I'm going to go over my bookshelf here, then like books on my desk, and then some other books. So yeah, I wanted to. I saw some. I don't know what I saw. A tweet, maybe a YouTube video. A YouTube video, and someone told the girl in the YouTube video something like, "You should make a video of your books," and I was like, "I could make a video of my books, and instead of a video, I will do a stream instead of a YouTube video." So yeah, that's the plan for today. Watching, sorry, not watching, recording my bookshelf and going over, I guess, what did I plan to read, etc. From top to bottom, I guess. Okay, am I here? Am I back? Yes. So yeah, let's go to the books. This is my bookshelf, and I'm going to go top to bottom, I guess, from maybe the left one or maybe the right one since it's shorter. So yeah, this bookshelf is my languages bookshelf or something like this. And here we have some books in German and a couple of books in, and this book in Japanese. I think this one I put it here because it's big and it doesn't fit below. But yeah, these are my German books for learning German, Big 1.1. This is a book I bought just in case to like learn German. This is a book to learn German as well. This is a book in German as well. About kind of the history of racing, I think. Yeah, Fangio, Stirling Moss, Graham Hill. And it has like good reviews and it's apparently like a classic, so I bought the original German version. This is a book about technical stuff, so like kind of for kids and to learn how shit works in the world. And I thought, if it's kind of for kids, so like explaining things, technical things, but for kids, I thought it would be a good idea to have it. Never actually checked it out that much. This is a Suicide Squad comic. It's in English, but yeah, it should probably go somewhere in the comic section. But I don't have like a comic section per se, so I guess I just put it here. Then again, this is still like language learning section. This is, well, this is an English book from university. This is a Fluent Forever book, which is about learning languages. This is an Initial D comic that I bought in Japan, 2013, I guess. This is a book called The Adaptive Ist dem Genitiv sein Tod, and I haven't read it because it's too difficult for me. But I bought it because it was about dative, so I thought reading in German about the German language would be interesting. This is a Gary Vee book. Gary Vee is like this entrepreneur or whatever. My actual entrepreneurship or whatever the fuck bookshelf is here, and I have a couple of Gary Vee books as well. But this one is in German. I bought it in German. Ein Entrepreneur über Social Media Selbstbewusstsein gewinnen. So I have this book in English in ebook form, and I have it also in non-ebook form. Hola, me llamo Bruno. Oli. Hola. Hello. Hello. I'm streaming in English, but I'm from Spain, so I can understand both languages, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know why I make the videos in English. Well, I have it explained in my channel why I make videos in English, but yeah. Then, this bookshelf, I have some of, I guess this is like the philosophy section, more or less. And it overlaps here and here. So these books about philosophy, this is like a simple editorial Blume. And this is like 50 teorías filosóficas, 50 philosophical theories, which is a book about, yeah, like basically summing up philosophy quickly. So I guess for like kids, children, that kind of stuff. Then this is Vive como mendigo, Baila como rey, Live as a homeless man, Dance like a king, by Ignacio Farray, which is like a Spanish comedian. I haven't read it, but he promoted this book saying that he read books. Sorry, he bought more books than he could read, obviously. So I did that to honor him. Then Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance by Pirsig. I really like this book. It's a good book. It's an interesting story told in an interesting way. It's like discussing philosophy, equality, etc. But yeah, in an interesting way, and I liked it. And Lila is kind of the continuation of this book, or if not continuation, it's kind of another. Yeah, I know it's the same. It's a continuation, and instead of going on a motorcycle trip, he goes on a sailboat trip. I remember it less this book, but yeah, it's still good. This one, Hay Mundo por Venir, ensayo sobre los miedos y los fines. Is There World to Come, essay about the worlds and the endings, or something like this. And yeah, I haven't read this one. I think I saw this book on a YouTube video about philosophy, so I put it on the philosophy section, but I never actually read it. This is El Poemario de las Famosas by Ter, the celebrity poemary, you could say, poetry book. And yeah, this one I have read. It's a book about, yeah, with poems inspired by famous people that a YouTuber made, but quite in the early days, and I really like this book. Then this one, como un mono que te crea sin parar, otros 33 usos de la filosofía, like how a monkey that types with no end, and another 30 something philosophy things. I don't know. I'm not sure what this book is about, but it's like also philosophy for kids, basically. So like easy stuff. This one, Perioctone y de la Libertad, it's a book by Ernesto Castro, which is the YouTuber I watch that I probably bought this book from, and also this RBA collection. This one I bought it because of this guy, who is like a philosopher and philosophy teacher also, and he wrote this book called Perioctone o de la Libertad. And this is like the second book in a trilogy, but the trilogy is like, it's more trilogy, yeah, Platonic trilogy, in the sense that it covers like Plato's stuff, Plato's philosophy, not strictly because it's like a really continued book or something. Sorry, it's not like a 3-part book or anything like this, or like 3 contiguous stories or anything. No, it's more like those topics, those philosophical topics. And then this is the RBA, Comprender la Filosofía collection. I have some of the books like Walter Benjamin, Marx, Wittgenstein, Popper, Hegel, Aristoteles, Epicuro. Here I have Heidegger, Plato, Kant, Rousseau, Freud, Erasmus, Descartes. Then, yeah, Kierkegaard, Leibniz, Pascal, Russell, Montaigne, Saint Augustine, Saint Thomas, I think. Saint Thomas Aquinas, basically. Sartre, Seneca, Socrates, Schopenhauer, Spinoza, Voltaire, William James, Heraclitus and Parmenides, Nietzsche, Machiavellus, Locke, Hobbes, Hume. So yeah, these are like introductory books to their philosophy, and yeah, I bought them, but I never actually read all of them. I have another one also over there, I think, with that woman, I forgot the name. But yeah, I have them here bought because of that, because I wanted to read them, but I guess I never got to read them. I think I've read Marx, for example, a little bit, because he comes up a lot, basically, but not really. Maybe if I had to read again, I probably would choose Montaigne, Erasmus, to see what they were about, because I think they are interesting reads. Like they are interesting characters in the world. Then this is my, I guess, novels little bookshelf. Here the first book I have is Roberto Bolaños 2066, very good book. Then I have Ernest, I have a book, I have a video about this. I think if you look up Roberto Bolaño in my channel, you will see what my video about this. I think it was the kebab video, I don't know. This book doesn't belong here actually, but because it's small, it's like, it's here. This book, okay, this is Ready Player One. Oh, Ready Player One, classic book, like science fiction, young adult. It's interesting. It is an interesting concept. It got some criticism, but I think, and it has like a lot of 80s references, I guess. So I didn't fully get it, but it's an interesting novel. I'd say it's an interesting book, interesting concept, etc. And it's probably like reality based. If on a winter's night, a traveler. This is Italo Calvino book that I bought because the Amazon reviews and like Goodreads reviews were funny, and they were written in a really curious style, so I liked it. Oh, I didn't read it fully, but I bought it and started liking it, but I never got hooked, super hooked, I guess. The rest of us just lived here. I don't know where I bought this book for. Same with this kind of The First 15 Lives and another book called The Ninth House that I have on ebook. I don't know why I bought them, but I guess they must have been in some kind of book club, for like online book club, maybe on Discord, something like this. And so I got them, but I never actually finished these, I think. Or if I did, I forgot. Douglas Adams, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This is a really good book. Classic science fiction book. A lot of jokes in popular culture, in like online popular culture, in the tech world specifically, are really related to this. So it's an interesting read because of that, but also like it's a funny book. It has like English humor, you could say, but it's funny. The Great Gatsby, I think I have it because this is an old edition from my here. Published Penguin Books 1950. This is from my aunt, not my great aunt, but I haven't read it. But I have the edition because I took it from her house when she died, and I really liked this aunt. Same with this book, George Orwell, Animal Farm. It's also an old edition. $19.99, this one. Which makes me wonder if this book is also is this old. Maybe not. It looks the same 80s font, so maybe it is an 80s edition. Maybe these are all the editions, and this is the 81. Who knows? This Cornelia Bororquia, or Víctima de la Inquisición, this is a book that they made us read at school. Sorry, but I have to put it down. Ow, ow, ow. Then this one, Los 50 años de peregrinación del chico sin color. It's like, this one is called Colorless Tsukuru in English, I think, something like this. And it's an interesting book, kind of, I would say, incel type book, but it's interesting because of that. Strange portrayals of like sex and relationships and those things. This is, I guess, my math and hobbies extended shelf. This is the same book in English and German. This is like a kid's book about math. Sorry, in Spanish and German. This is and this is the German original edition. This is a jokes book in Spanish. This is a book by a Spanish comedian who also like has this kind of very wordy type of comedy. These two books are like that. I've read them both, same with the jokes book and the number ones in Spanish, but I bought it in German so that I could, I guess, learn German more or less. But I didn't. Then some puzzle book that I never actually probably even opened. Some Airsoft catalog. This is like a game, a board game encyclopedia that I have here for some reason. A book about cats that I liked a lot, bought secondhand somewhere. Very interesting. And another type of catalog maybe. Oh yeah, some book about containers architecture that I bought just in case. Then over here last, this is kind of the, I guess, Star Wars, and these are some, I don't know, maybe there isn't a lot of order here. But yeah, this is supposed to be like the Star Wars shelf as well. Some big Star Wars DH books that I like. This is a book about like the science of it. Haven't read it fully, but I started it and it's not super good apparently, but yeah. This is a book about the languages. I thought it would be more interesting, but it's pretty much a bit lame. It's like more for kids and to be funny, basically, rather than a more linguistical approach to Star Wars. This is a book about like Star Wars. I haven't checked it that much, but I like this kind of type of technical diagrams like this, even if it's fake science. Then these are like Dear Reader. It's a biography about Kim Jong-il, but by Michael Malice, and apparently it's like a fun book to read, but I never actually started. I think I bought this back when I was watching Jordan Peterson or something. Yeah, it's not like I'm against it anyways, but it's just that other things have come up, I guess. And this P.W. Singer Wired for War book, I think I have actually read this one. This is about drones and that kind of stuff. It's about like the war in the future. Yeah, robots, drones, etc. It was interesting, but I forgot most of it, I would say already. I remember that when I was reading it, I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Okay, then this lower half is, I guess, it was supposed to be kind of continuing, like here, this math, hobbies, history type thing. This is a book, the same book above, Holt Moving Castle art book that I bought because I crushed on someone. This is uniforms in the Spanish Civil War, weapons and then same weapons and whatever in the Second World War. This is a book about like traditional China. This is a book on Egypt, very good book, I really like this. The Measure of Reality, I'm not sure if I ever finished this book, but it was interesting. It talked about kind of how people started measuring things basically in the Middle Ages and all that, so it was an interesting book because of that. Not sure where I found the recommendation. This is the same Blume collection book, but for mathematics theories. This is a book about the language of maths that I got gifted for some reason by a teacher, but not because the teacher wanted me to read this. I think it was basically more of a book prize for some shit. This is a book about linear algebra from that was recommended for some reason. Someone said, "Oh yeah, this collection from this because this was like a newspaper book from this newspaper is good." And I bought it, the first one. I think I didn't finish it. Then this. The Music of Prime Numbers. I think this is a similar book that I also got as a gift for participating in some kind of mathematics contest, but I never bought. But yeah, those could be interesting reads now that I don't have any the context. And I've forgotten most about math. Maybe they could be like introductory lectures. And this is like multivar calculus for college that I bought to, I guess, have something. I'm not sure if I bought it myself or my dad bought it for me because he thought it would help. And yeah. Then, but yeah, it was not that multivar was not that important. These are Taylor Swift magazines, repeated because I bought them first from a friend that got them shipped, and then I bought them here once they released. These are car magazines. These ones that are like this are old, that I got pretty because of a particular thing. I think this one I got because they mentioned a particular car. I could look it up. Maybe it's that Mazda 626. Yeah, I think it's because of that. 46. It's to learn more about this QV car. It's like a Mazda 626 that got a kind of a German company. Yeah, that's a German company modified to make it to tune it better or something like this. So yeah, I wanted to know more about it, and I bought it. It's a German magazine from the late 80s. So similarly, imported stuff is these things I keep between cardboard, which are like technical data from the Mazda 121, Mazda 121 catalogs, and Mazda 121 catalogs. And here I have even more, some stuff like that, if I recall correctly. Yeah, here I have the ones in Japan, the AutoZone review. I have a lot of these laying around, first map. This, I bought this one. This is a Spanish movie magazine comparison between these, which is like the Fiat Multipla and the Honda FRV, which are 6-seater cars. And I have this on the comparison page. I could put this here maybe. Then I have like some more random magazines. This is brought from Japan. Option magazine. This is a pretty famous kind of tuning magazine. It has like a lot of parts everywhere. Yeah, you have ads for car parts and all this. Interesting magazines. I have some auto build magazines. These are like, if I went to Germany, I bought a German magazine. This is from Sweden. When I was in Sweden, I bought a Swedish magazine, Swedish car magazine. This is, I think, from Czech Republic. Another German magazine. These are maybe if I buy one and they come with a lot of whatever. This one is another Swedish magazine. This one is like more custom, about custom things, which was interesting to me. Specifically Drift magazine in Japan. I think maybe this one my mom brought it for me because she went to Japan and I asked her to buy these magazines. Another German auto build, Spanish auto build. British Autocar. And Auto Build Classic. Then this Spanish CESBI map, which are like some insurance company kind of promo mag that I have for some reason. Even if I'm not in that insurance company. Then above this is kind of my, I guess, general books, science books stuff. Gödel Escherbach, sorry, by Douglas Hofstadter. Classic book about like rational thinking or something like this. Never finished it. The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. I did finish this one recently, and it's an interesting book for creative people and all this. Some Catalan magazine that I bought just in case. I like to buy these kind of things. Some book about like the township logos, not logos, like shields, coat of arms of our towns in my Comunidad de Madrid. Tokyo Class Art book from photography type book, a book to fill, a coloring book for like adults, astronomy atlas, old astronomy atlas. Roger Penrose book, El Camino de la Realidad. I don't know, I think I got it as a Christmas gift from my mom or something. Same with the Michio Kaku book, La Física del Futuro. Haven't read them if I recall correctly. Could be interesting reads to check out now maybe. Then Desayuno con Partículas. I think I have read this one, but a long time ago. It's again like this science divulgation book. And then How to by Randall Munroe. These are interesting books about how to do certain things. Yeah, the ex-KCD guy wrote some books, and they are good. Then now we get to my car books or technical books. Oh, I'm so tired. These are Road Rat magazines. I have more up there. I will get into them later. And then these are, I guess, the big books, and here I have like smaller books. So the big ones are The Complete History of Corvette. Guille García Alfonsín recommended it, so I bought it. Never read it, but it's a good table book. The Driver. This is an interesting story. This is like his story of driving like the Cannonball Race or like from coast to coast in the United States, which is interesting, and I really like this book. Por los Caminos del Mundo. This is a classic book for me because I've had it since I was a little kid, and it's, I guess, one of the things that got me into these cars. Mercedes-Benz Museum. I guess these are not books for reading. Sorry, these are just books for like checking out sometimes, and I've gone through them a little bit. Bought in the Mercedes-Benz Museum. This one I bought in the BMW Museum in Munich, and this one I bought in the Audi Museum in Ingolstadt. I don't have a Porsche book, but yeah. Then this is How to Build a Tuner Car. This one I read. It's by some guy called Scott Smith. I follow him on Twitter, and he posts plain pictures these days. It's I guess like a cool explanatory book. It's like the present equivalent of like Amazon books, right? These kind of Amazon ebooks that you sometimes see. This is a story about Hispano Suiza by some guy called Manuel Lage, and yeah, he promoted this book in some kind of channel, in some kind of newsletter that I was subscribed to, so I bought it. And I started reading it, but it was pretty dense. Like, it's straight up the story of Hispano Suiza, which is a car brand that used to be a plane brand from these eras, from like 1904 and 1972. And it's subtitled Men, Enterprises or Companies, Motors, and Planes, right? So it's literally about that, about the people, and it's literally this guy told this guy, let's buy this many engines. Then sometime later they received it. It's like literally that dense. Then this is kind of a professional formation, I guess. It's like a trades school technical book for cars. It's interesting. I think I did read it. This is a How to Build a Car book. This is an Adrian Newey book, very famous, F1 engineer, designer, and yeah, I have not read this one still. This one is about dynamics systems in cars, it's about suspension and all this. I have read like half of it, I think. It's not that much of a reading book, and it's more of a textbook, you could say. The Audi book I mentioned. This is a book about 1000 sports cars. This is a book about motorcycles that I bought secondhand, and I translated into Spanish to my father, basically. He paid me to do that, but yeah, not for any reason, just so that I could learn English. Then This is my technical books stuff, but also thermal engineering. This is a book I got gifted, if I recall correctly, sometime in school when we went to the some place where the people flew helicopters for the police. This is a book that I got gifted as well about thermal engines for electrical generation. This is a book for heat transfer equations. This is a book for like big machinery that I bought recently because of a YouTube video. I did read this one. I obviously did read this one as well. I have not read this one, and I don't remember this one, but I have maybe read it. These are also like thermal engineering, aka like thermal turbines type equations. This is a Mighty Car Mods book. These are more ordered by size, not by theme. This is a Mighty Car Mods, the YouTube channel book of the cars that they had made. This is a welding book, textbook, because in university we read these things. This is a Pedro Serra book, a book about Pedro Serra, which is like a, how do you say, body workshop guy, body work designer, basically. When the cars coach work, it's like a coach worker, basically. Spanish one for Seat cars, basically, mainly, and it was an interesting book. I'm not sure if I finished it, but it's interesting. This is the 100 greatest cars, because I wanted to read a little bit more about old cars, not just 80s from like 60s onwards, because that's the most thing I know. This is the same, a similar book, this Amazon style book. This is a book about the Wankel engine that Guille García Alfonsín recommended as well, that I bought. This is that I did not read. This is the internal combustion engine book that we used in class for our class, and this is apparently like a reference book in Spain. Car catastrophes. Yeah, this I think was a book about the car failures. Pretty corny. I could put this one, I guess, in the language learning territory thing. This is a technical book from my own great aunt's husband when he died, and I got it as a reminder, I guess. This when she died. This is physics 1 problems. This is like a structural engineering problems, because I failed these subjects. This is, I guess, engineering, same 50 quick things in engineering. This is 20th century cars book. I've read this one many times. It has like mistakes. I can tell you which pages have mistakes. Then the philosophy books that I mentioned before. This is, I guess, my, how do you say, like self-help, business, that kind of thing, psychology type stuff. So psychology, it's like a self-help type cope mentioning. This is a capitalism book by Shaikh. I'm not sure who mentioned it. I think Ernesto Castro. I never read it because it has equations and it's super annoying, and it feels like it's made up, basically. Machiavellian Manager Handbook for Success. This is a classic business book. This is like the North Korean girl Yeonmi Park book from Jordan Peterson as well. This is the Defining Decade, Why Your 20s Matter and How to Make the Most of Them Now. I read it at the beginning of my 20s. It did not make a difference. I wasted my 20s anyways. Man's Search of Meaning, classic book, War of Art, a book for doing creative battles. It has some interesting metaphors that I've liked, and like some how to win against procrastination, that kind of thing. Man's Search of Meaning, classic book. I liked it. It has like this 2-part approach of like telling you war stories and then also like telling you psychological type stuff. Mark Manson, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, classic self-help book of this kind of millennial writer who uses bad words. The Art of Procrastination by John Perry, another similar book to this, I guess, War of Art book, right, about procrastination and all this. 59 seconds. I don't know what this book is for. Oh yeah, I guess it's like scientifically proven advice, but it's still like a self-help book. It's like thinking fast and slow, maybe like this kind of book, which is I guess about understanding your own mind, that kind of thing, right? Allowing for numbers, same with like how to learn shit. Then The Millionaire Next Door, book that really influenced me because I bought index funds basically at 18 years old because I read this book, 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel, classic book. Gary Vee's books, Crushing It and Thank You Economy, and psychological things. I really was into Gary Vee at some point. And yeah, I still fuck with him, I guess. And he has inspired me, I guess, my thinking in many ways. Like this caring that much about attention, those things, and like thinking that attention is really important for business, etc. I think those ideas all stem from me listening to Gary Vee that much. But yeah, lately I guess I don't read him as much, or like watch him maybe, basically. Then above is like my, yeah, I guess Deutsch and comedy got displaced there. Deutsch and like comedy got displaced like further down to accommodate for my many magazines, many car magazines. I have like this Road Rat collection of like 1 through 11. Then I have here 12, 13, and 14, 12, 13, 14, 15, something like this. Then Zero Cien, which is basically a copy of probably of Road Rat, but in Spanish. Not a copy, actually. It's like a similar, inspired by it, the concept, but not the same articles, obviously. Then some Italian magazines, Spanish magazines, French, I think, more Japanese ones too. Yeah, basically a lot of car magazines. Yeah, and yeah, this is. Oops. I'm going to take a little bit of a water break. I'm tired. Okay, next I'm going to go through the books of my desk. Maybe I will order them a little bit so that they can be seen like from here. Then like this. What the fuck? Okay. Okay. So here are the books on my table right now. This is Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace. I've read some David Foster Wallace essays recently, and I wanted to get back into it. And I bought this book a while ago, so I was like, fuck it, let's put it on my desk in case I grab it. Then this is a comic book called Taxus by Spanish YouTuber Loulogio. And yeah, it seems probably it's like a fun book, but and I probably saw his tweet and I was like, fuck it, I could read it, but I forgot. Short Story of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson. It's pretty self-explanatory title. Poetry book, Houston, Josie El Problema. Also about like celebrities and all this. This is a book that my mom lent me from Paco Roca, drawn book, comic book. This is Mouse, comic book also by Art Spiegelman about fascism and all this. Copybook, book about like ads. This is just best advertisements in the world. A compilation of it with some light explanations. This is How You Lose the Time War. Saw this book on Twitter. Never read it. Coño Dramas. This is like some feminist type funny book by a Spanish author. That my dad gave me, I guess, to propagandize me for feminism or something, because he sees a dream, I don't know. Then 50 Teorías Económicas. This is like this economics theories book. The Reader Over Your Shoulder. This is a book that my dad lent me because it is about how to write better prose in English, which I started but I never finished. This is a neural networks from scratch in Python book that I bought a while ago to like learn how to neural networks work, etc., and how to build them. That I never ended up using. Here I have my journals. Here I have a thermal engineering book about like engines. I could put that back on my bookshelf, on that shelf that I mentioned. Maybe I will do that later. And here I have like the last pile of books in my room. These are like the magazines, I think. Oh yeah, this is like Taylor Swift stuff. More Taylor Swift stuff. This is a German book, German grammar. I could put this back where it belongs. Same with these German books, learning German. This one, because these ones were the ones that I was actually using. These ones were here. Then this is neural translation that my dad lent me. Joder. I want to put it there. This is a book about vintage cars that I think I was reading as well. This is a book about how to write your own thesis that I already wrote, and I didn't finish before. So this is another German learning book, and this is a copy of the Hispanosuiza book. So yeah, those are the books that I have. Any questions? Any cues from the audience? By the way, if you are watching, you can tell me some things. I always ask these questions to the people watching my stream. Where are you from? What is your favorite car? And what's your lore? Hello. I always ask these questions. Where are you from? What's your favorite car? And what's your lore? I was going over the books that I had, but I have already finished with that, so now I am just talking to you guys. While drinking water because I'm tired and I'm kind of hot, plus my throat kind of hurts besides the talking part. And yeah, as for the reasons why I wanted to show my books, I guess it was to give some kind of priority or something to books that I want to read next, to show which ones I'm right now more excited about. And I guess I could show my Kindle, or I guess not, because I don't know what it is. I guess it's there. I don't know if I can't find my writing. Oh, yeah, and yeah, good point. I could show my Kindle books. So for that, let's go like this. Right now, it's open on a cruise, on an essay about a cruise from David Foster Wallace. So I guess probably the next priority to read is this one, this essay. And then the next books that I have here, this is like the book of this David Foster Wallace book. I guess I could remove this one. Fuck. Eliminar descarga. Eliminar de la colección. Borrar de forma permanente. Okay, I have here La Caligrafía Secreta, which is a children's book from way ago time. This is Nevada by Imogen Bini, which is an interesting book. This is Dysphoria Mundi, a book about like trans stuff, but like in a capitalist, anti-capitalist way or something, which was pretty boring to me. This is more of a book that yeah, Nevada is more of a book for telling like the story of a trans woman living life, etc., which was interesting to me. Same with The Masker and The Transition Baby by Tori Peters, which are like more, I guess, real shit type books about with transgender people. Sorry, transgender women in particular, which seemed interesting to me to learn more about like this aspect. Then To Own the Lips, this one was a funny book, but it kickstarted all of this literature reading, but it basically was more, I guess, fictional in that sense. This or like less real, etc. More like it read more like young adult books than it read like real book. This middle book is like Great Founder Theory, which is like an essay by Sama Buria, I don't know, and I didn't read it. These are like short stories from like various times in the world. I didn't read it. Then yeah, I have some storytelling books, A Skill Called Luck. This is like an essay by Greenfeld that I have read, and yeah, some copywriting books. And yeah, that's basically the things that I have here. And I have a book about slaves in Rome. And yeah, out of all of those, I would say I'm most excited still about like David Foster Wallace essays, because once I start reading them, I really like his writing style, and I really like his observations about the world and like this postmodern reality that we still live, like we live in, even a more advanced postmodernism type reality. And I liked it. I like it about that. Sorry, I liked those. I also Oh yeah, I'm also still curious about this kind of Nevada by Imogen book of these transition stories. The Transition Baby still has like a catchy title that I really want to pay attention to, and I liked those two repeated books, and I feel like they helped me in the place of in the mental place that I'm at right now, where I'm seeing a lot of things in the internet, all of this. Some perspectives like those, I think, help me, I guess, see other sides of the coin that are less not toxic, etc. That are, I guess, more real. I would say real. That are less ideological or something like this, and that are more real world. Less ideological or less like online, and are like more real world, even though it's like a fictional book or whatever. I feel like she still is a good writer in that sense, right? Good writers are kind of observant, and she's like observant of those things, and I like that about her writings. Okay, so yeah, I think those are probably like the ones that I want to read the most. Then I'm seeing all of these kind of productivity books that I would deem productive reading, right? For example, learning how to do neural networks. It's like, why did I buy it? Because I really want to know how neural networks work, or because I'm curious, or because I like the potential of being a data analyst, or like working in neural networks, right? Why? So I feel like there is some of the one thing and some of the other, but without the other part, the curiosity maybe is lower. I don't know. Or like the will to go through these exercises is lower. So I don't know. In that sense, I don't know. Same with the how to build a car. I don't know. Like how to build a car. It's like probably the book is by Nui, right? So it's a good book, pretty sure. I've gotten good recommendations of it. But if I'm not right now in wanting to build a car mindset, it's like why it's like that book would probably not hit the same, right? So yeah, I think regarding priorities, those are probably like my priorities. Those the ones in the ebook, not the ones in the actual bookshelves. Or maybe after that, Infinite Jest, the one that I brought here, maybe could be one something a mix of that, right? A mix of novel, but also with the DFW's, yeah, with Dallas Fort Worth, with David Foster Wallace's, I guess, perspective on like life and philosophy, etc. Right? Maybe that's like also a good continuation of that, and that counts as a real book, because what I'm reading of from DFW now are like essays. So yeah, maybe I should think about stopping reading and starting writing. I see like writing material that I have here, but I'm not in a super writing mood, I guess, even though it helps. And sorry, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm done with today. I will probably start charging my phone now because it's gotten low battery. I guess wonder how this quality turned out. Maybe it's super bad, maybe it's decent. But yeah, goodbye. I don't think I will say thank you for being here to anyone because well, Hania couldn't be here, and no one actually was here. I guess. Like yeah, I can see Isa Aesthetics comments, I can see Fabiola's comment, and I can see Bruno's comment, but I can't say thank you to them because I don't think they remained. So yeah, because of that, goodbye, and